Hey guys, this is Anarchist coming to you from the dark side of the moon here on Ann After Hours on the WAN Radio Network. So tonight's episode is going to be a little eclectic. We're going to go over a whole bunch of information, like a whole bunch of news that's been coming out this past week. We're going to go over a few different things. So, first off, what are we looking at here? I'm sorry. So I live in the town of Berwyn, and just the other day, or in the last week, Governor Pillager came out on the TV like an evil villain and was like making threats about like fines and fees if people were like eating indoors and stuff. So the town that I stay in, Berwyn, believe it or not, the mayor, who is a liberal, actually said that he will not take enforcement against action or enforcing anything. You know, if the restaurants do not comply with with Pillager's orders, you know, Mayor Lovero says he's not going to enforce it. So I recommend to all you Berwynites, start going out and supporting your small businesses. Start going and eating at those dine-in restaurants. Start bringing your money to them because it will really help the economy. Like, I know like people can't afford to eat out all the time, but even small little purchases here and there will help go a long way for a lot of these small business owners. But a lot of this has a lot to do. What was it? Here we go. Right when he was coming out and saying all this stuff, he actually went and self-isolated on the 6th. Okay, today's the 13th. All right, so on the 6th, before he really came out there and started barking orders, this guy went and hid in his house, all right? And I know exactly why he's doing this, and it's because he plans on shutting down the state of Illinois. He plans on it. And the only reason they haven't gone for a full-on shutdown, you know, complete furloughs and stuff like that, is because we have no money. They're not going to be able to afford to pay us $600 a week again, can they? No, they're not going to. That's why they're doing what I'm calling a soft shutdown. Oh, you can't sell food indoors. You can't seat your customers. You can't sell drinks. You can't do this. But your store can stay open and take in money other different ways. Just, you know, don't use your your food license and your liquor license that you have to pay for every year to stock your store full of food and alcohol to sell to your customers. Like, you have to pay for that, and that's supposed to pay for itself, aka food and alcohol sales. So Pritzker tested negative for the virus on Wednesday, but was tested again Friday as a precaution. The governor is isolating as he awaits the most recent results, which is expected this weekend, which we know is all just, you know, a dog and pony show for all the stuff that's going on right now. So let's go and step a little bit into, well, you know, this is Illinois. So we went from Berwyn, my town, to the state of Illinois and stuff like that. Back to my town, Berwyn, again. Unfortunately, with this shutdown going the way it is, my town's losing something like $5 million a year because McNeal Hospital, which was the only hospital we ever had in town, was bought out by Loyola Hospital, which is a nonprofit, which means that now McNeal Hospital doesn't have to pay taxes. So now we're losing taxes. So they're talking about raising our taxes here in Berwyn again. And this is just to forewarn all my neighboring friends in Cicero, LaGrange, Stickney, Oak Park, Lyons, Riverside. I'm talking to all you guys, Forest Park, you know, everywhere. I'm talking to you guys. Don't think that you guys are safe where you are. Yeah, we're going to hike up our taxes here in Berwyn, but don't think that this is not going to cause a domino effect in your guys' townships, okay? Don't think for a minute that these mayors and governors and aldermen and all these people have your self-interest at heart, because they don't. Okay, they really don't. That's why they are doing a soft closure right now, because they can't even afford to pay you to stay home right now. So I'm just forewarning all my neighbors around here that, you know, They're talking about collecting $33.3 million from taxpayers in revenue just because they McNeal backed out as an actual contributor. So let's go talk on some other news. I was looking into some other things. Like, all of this stuff is, of course, connected. What does the shutdown have to do with it? Well, it's all connected with the COVID virus, huh? It's all connected with the COVIDs, right? So I was watching a YouTube video, and this guy left a link in the description, and I just said, fuck it, I'm going to have to take a look into this. And I'm pretty sure I am reading this in German or something, but this is literally the system and method testing for COVID-19. So here we go right here. All right. And we see that the person who is sponsoring it is Richard A. Rothschild. Let's make fun of that. Rothschild. Anyway, look at the priority date on this. 10/13/2015. Guys, this is well planned out in advance. I mean, supposedly the COVID was just, exploding and happening here in 2020, you know what I mean? But we all know the CARES Act was written exactly 1 year before the COVIDs even exploded. Okay, so here we go. The priority date is 10/13/2015. Here you go. Let me highlight it for you so you can see. Okay, Richard A. Rothschild. He funded and gave a lot of money to this. Publication date 9/3/2020. So they waited a good 5 years to sit there and make it public access. So let's talk about what is the system and method for testing for the COVIDs. All right. So here I opened up the docket, and it says the United States Patent Application Publication. Okay, guys, I really, really want you guys to look this up. I'm going to try to put all the links in the description below as well. I want you guys to read this. It is not my job to tell you, the listener, what to think, how to act, and what to do, okay? It's my job to present you guys with the information, and it is your job to figure out to do what with it, okay? So this is a patent for the system and method and testing for the COVIDs. And just to let you know, I'm going to keep calling it that because it is a con, guys. Like, they're conning the crap out of us. So the abstract here, first I'm going to read it the way they say it, and then I'm going to read it the way how I see it, okay? And again, guys, and after hours is just my opinion, guys. My opinion weighs nothing. You guys, again, have to determine whether or not this information merits any worth, So the abstract here says that this is a method is providing for acquiring and transmitting biometric data of a user, where the data is analyzed to determine whether the user is suffering from a viral infection such as COVID-19. Okay, so they're not even specifying this for the COVIDs. They're saying that it's suffering from an infection such as is such a what's the word I'm looking for? It's ambiguous. Like, it can really mean almost anything. And that's what they use as ambiguity to push the bar on what they can and cannot do. So what else does it say? It says the method includes using a pulse oximeter to acquire at least pulse and blood oxygen saturation percentage, which is transmitted wirelessly to a smartphone. So, has anybody ever played Metal Gear before? I'm pretty sure a lot of my listeners have either played Metal Gear Solid or know about Metal Gear Solid. And if it's for the older folk people, have you ever heard of Vietnam? You know what I mean? Like, this is the system that they talked about in the game, like the nanomachines. Like, I am totally convinced that there are nanomachines inside these vaccines. Okay, now they're talking about sending wireless signals to your phone, guys. That doesn't sound like a dead virus, all right? That sounds like electronic equipment that has, like, sending and receivers in it to send and receive messages wirelessly, like it's not biological at all. But that's just my take on it. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out there that says just trust the science, you know? And we'll trust the science when I scroll down here and you guys take a look at and see for yourself on my channel what I'm talking about. And like I said, I'm going to leave the information down below. I want you guys to take a look at this yourself. Okay, to ensure that the data is accurate, the accelerometer within the smartphone is used to measure movement of the smartphone and or the user. Once accurate data is acquired, it is uploaded to the cloud, where the data is used to determine whether the user is suffering from an infection such as the convids. Depending on the specific requirements, the data changes thereto and or the determination can be used to alert medical staff and take corresponding action. So, of course, bring it all in the name of the common good. We got to alert the medical staff because they need to know everything. And, you know, it's very important that they get those vitals, even though they can take the vitals there themselves without using nanomachines, really. Okay, so now you got, you know, your little patient right here. He's laying on the bed. Okay, just to let you guys know, I am not the foremost authority on anything, and I am doing my best to decipher and understand a lot of the information that I am given. Okay, so right here, I am not an engineer. Okay, so I have no I would say background in being able to read a lot of engineering plans. But I do know what I'm looking at right here. Here's the cloud. And I'm assuming this is the thingy that's getting installed into you. And then here's your smartphone. Look, they use one of those old Nokia brick phones right here too. They're like, this is so solid right here. A solid piece of technology. And you know what's crazy? Probably when they came out with this stuff, I'm pretty sure that, like, at the time, you know, because they say, like, whenever the government does something, it's like 50 years in advance. So I'm pretty sure, like, this Nokia phone was probably out around the time when they decided to, like, come in with this stuff. So this was, like, popular at the time because I don't see it being a flip phone or a Razor phone or an Android. This is, like, literally a brick phone here. This looks like one of those Obama phones. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So here's the cloud. Here's what gets installed in you. This is your phone, and it's going to send it to the cloud, and then it's going to send it to a doctor, and then it's going to send it to another person, and then it's going to send it over here. See what I mean? That is a lot of medical information and privacy, like, issues right here. I don't know. If you guys are totally okay with this, that's fine. But if you guys really want to push this onto other people, you have control issues. So here's another figure. So this big gray box right here is supposed to represent I'm assuming you, and it's supposed to, it says core client module. This is a third-party authenticated service, a company cloud, and locally networked devices and the client platform. Wow. So this is like the entire span of networks that they're going to be using to record and monitor and extract and, you know, I guess keep track of you. You know, something right here in this is screaming social credit score, China. That's what it's screaming right there. So, see, here's another figure. So, basically, again, they're talking about how they're going to, you know, put stuff in you. Like, see, a transceiver 1, a transceiver 2. Like, something inside you is not being, wow, let's see. Start. Receive biometric data with timestamp. Receive audio video data with timestamp. Sync biometric data with audio video data. Option. Play audio video. Search for biometric data. Stop. Wow. So they got a whole step-by-step process. So I just want you guys to go and take a look at this information, see what you can make out of it. If not, please leave a comment below. Give me some thoughts and ideas as to what you can make from it. I want to see if any engineers that are listening that can follow these programs or these flow charts really good, give a really good explanation as to what I'm reading here. Like I said, I am not the foremost authority on anything. I am just a regular person who comes into very extraordinary information. That's the best way I can put it. So this past week, the Dow climbs about 1,000 points because, remember, they just announced that they got a vaccine and it's about 90% effective. It's a great day for science and humanity, guys. We got the COVID vaccines, and Pfizer and BioNTech are going to save the world. Science, government-funded science nonetheless. So the Dow goes up 1,000 points, and I'm not an economist. I'm not an expert in anything. I have to individually research every piece of information that I come across. I have to investigate everything, and if I miss something, I miss something. If I don't, I don't. And like I said, that's what you guys are here for. You, my listeners, are here to help me stay in check with the information that I'm coming across. Okay, so if you guys think that I'm giving out false information or something like that, or if I'm misrepresent anything, please let me know in the description or in the comments section. That way I can, work more diligently towards more accurate information. So the Dow is basically the top 30 companies that bring in the most amount of money for the United States income every year. That's basically what the Dow is. All right. So it climbs up 1,000 points opening day because Biden was. People think that Biden is president, and they came out with the vaccine and says that it's 90% effective. It's a good idea. It says, I think the 90% success rate in trials is on the high end of street expectations, given that the 40-60% success for seasonal flu vaccines. So they openly admit that seasonal flu vaccines are only 40 to 60% successful. And we're still okay with injecting ourselves with it. Okay, this is going to give a real boost to a broader range of stocks beyond technology, as shown by outsized gain in the Dow pre-market. With greater clarity on both political and health issues, this should provide additional momentum in the short run. Meaning, the guys, they're the ones who are peddling. Okay, at the end of the day, both presidential puppets are peddling the vaccines, guys. They're both peddling mandatory vaccine. One's saying they got one's saying one's coming. You know what I mean? They don't care about your body autonomy. What they care about is making a lot of money. Okay, and how are they making a lot of money? Well, for one, they invest into stocks in these markets. You don't think Trump or Biden has stock in Pfizer and BioNTech and all these other places? You don't think other billionaire, millionaire elites don't have stock in these places? And I'm just going to go down the line as to what do I mean by all of this. So, for example, Warren Buffett, this piece of shit, the day they came out, we got the vaccine and this and that, this fat, ugly piece of shit makes $10 billion on stocks. That's why I'm telling you. You don't think these assholes don't have stocks and stuff? That's how a shadow government is run. They don't need to do this overtly, guys. They don't need to walk in the streets and say, okay, guys, we're taking over your country. We're hijacking it. No. They have to buy us. They have to buy us to own us. Okay? It's just like any other regular slavery. Okay? Any other kind of enslavement. This guy made $10 billion on stock just because they announced some stuff. All right? And then going on to the next thing. Hold on. Let's see. I got to show you this other page. Because on top of the fact that this guy makes $10 billion, Coca-Cola also makes a crap ton of money because Pfizer announced the same thing that the vaccine. Oh, we got the vaccine. We got it. We got it. So now Coca-Cola stocks are up. Okay. It says COVID-19 devastated Coke stock, which even after recovering from its own March lows and even after today's bump, it's still trading 12% below its highs of the year. The reason is some months ago, in the wake of its quarter one earnings, that this company has historically made about 50% of its sales to out-of-home customers, restaurants that buy Coke and serve it to folks eating out. So when you get a pizza and you get a Coke with it, that's out of house. That's what they mean, out-of-home customers. All right. When the COVID shutdowns were in full swing, surveys suggested that as many as 80% of restaurateurs were at least considering closing up shop permanently because they couldn't operate at a profit with the reduced customer traffic caused by the pandemic. Now losing 80 to 50% of its business would imply that a 40% decline in the Coke sale if the world never recovered from the COVIDs. That's good news, is that it didn't prove the case. Total sales were actually down only 9% last quarter. You know why? Because everybody started ordering out, just to let you know. So the reason why they're losing more money is because you can't seat your customer down and you can't sit there and give them their cup of Coke or their drinks and stuff like that. But it doesn't matter because you can just go deliver your food and they'll just put it in a can and pop it in the car and send it right to your house. So these guys really didn't lose much. They're acting like they got hurt, but they didn't. Okay? So don't buy into the whole idea that these companies are losing money, they're shutting down everything. You know what they're really shutting down? They're shutting down small businesses, guys. They're getting rid of the backbone of America. The one thing that built this country from the ground up is the ability to open up shop and sell and trade and buy and to be an entrepreneur and to work for yourself. Little by little, they've extracted all these little freedoms that we've had so that they can monopolize on all our labor, guys. So let's see. Let's move to the next area because I wanted to show you guys something. Now, I've told you guys, I've said this a million times. I don't want to give attention to the selection process. I really don't. But I came across this article. I thought it was very interesting because it is literally like, this was published, 7 days ago? This is almost like a step-by-step, playbook of what's going on in the selection process right now. Now, the only thing that I agree with this article is at the end of the article, it says, at the end of the day, the House wins. Yes. House always wins. But I want to go through a run-through of this because I thought this was very interesting information. I mean, I really sat there and I'm like, I don't really give a crap about this. But I'm like, you know what? I think to my statist viewers, I really want to present this information to you guys just so that you know that your statist system is that freaking flawed. All right. So this is what we call a color revolution. And what is a color revolution? Well, a color revolution describes various related movements that in developed countries like the Soviet Union or the Republic of China and stuff like that. Basically, it's a number of revolutions, including, what is it? Hold on, I'm sorry. To describe various related movements that developed in several countries. Okay. Participant in color revolutions have mostly used nonviolent resistance. Such methods such as demonstrations, strikes, interventions have aimed to protest against governments. Color revolution movements generally become associated with a specific color or flower as their symbol. The color revolutions are notable for the important role of non-governmental associations and particularly student activists in organizing creative nonviolent resistance. Okay, so a good example of a color revolution is what happened with Pablo Escobar. Okay, and that's why this article is titled Escobar Banana Folly. Okay, so what is this exactly? Well, guys, we're looking at a banana republic here. Okay, I'm going to go through this. Let me just give you a disclaimer. All information on this article is a what if scenario. I am not saying exactly that this is word for word exactly what's going on. I cannot dictate that. I do not have the authority to do so. So any information that I present here is for education and entertainment purposes only. So, without further ado, not all the information disclosed here about the gaming of blue have been disclassified. That may well elicit a harsh response from the deep state. Even as a similar scenario was gamed by an outfit called the Transition Integrity Project. And I'm going to go look that up because I really want to know what that means, what this was. Okay. Both of these scenarios that I'm about to read qualify as predictive programming, okay? They're going to tell us what we're going to do and how things are going to play out, okay? So with the deep state preparing the general public in advance for exactly how things are going to play out. So predictive programming is a very important information that you should learn and take in and try to protect yourself from. Okay. The standard color revolution playbook rules usually start in the capital city or nation state of X during an election cycle, with the freedom fighting rebels, Antifa, Black Lives Matter, enjoying full national and international media support, okay? Blue concerns a presidential election in the hegemon. In the gaming exercise, the incumbent president, codename Buffoon, Trump, was painted red. And the challenger, codename Corpse, Biden, was painted blue. Now, blue went up a notch because compared to its predecessors, the starting point was not a mere insurgency but a pandemic. And not any pandemic, but a really serious, bad to the bone pandemic with the explosive infection fatality rate of less than 1%. And by a fortunate coincidence, the lethal pandemic allowed blue operators to promote mail-in ballots as a safest, socially distant voting procedure. That connected with a rash of polls predicting an all but inevitable blue win in the election. They even call it a blue wave. The premise is simple, guys. Take down the economy and deflate a sitting president whose stated mission is to drive a booming economy. On tandem, convince the public opinion that actually getting to the polls is a health hazard. Okay, the Blue Production Committee takes no chances, publicly announcing that they would contest any result that contradicts the prepackaged outcome. Blue's final victory in a quirky, anachronistic, anti-direct democracy body called the Electoral College. If red somehow wins, blue would wait until every vote is counted. Sorry, give me one moment. I'm going to give a minute for my sponsors, and I will get back to you soon.
Marlboro Man here, reminding you that JC's Resale Shop in Berwyn has all your home goods under one roof. Everything you need at the best possible value. Your dollar will go farther than it's ever gone before. Come on down and grab some furniture, books, electronics, kitchenware, and much, much more. You can even get a brand new outfit complete with shoes and accessories for under $10. Can you believe that? Check out JC's Resale Shop located at 6615 Cermak Road in beautiful downtown Berwyn, Illinois on Cermak Road and East Avenue. Or call 708-689-7172 or check out our Facebook page in the description below. Remember, folks, if you can't find it anywhere else, then you can always find it at JC's.
Okay, now back to the show. We were talking about this colors revolution. So now let's get to voting. Now election day is coming, right? Election day came. Vote counting is running smoothly. Mail-in counts, election day count, up to the minute tallies, mostly favoring red, especially the 3 states that are always essential for capturing the presidency. Red is also leading in what is characterized as swing states. But then, just as TV network prematurely calls a supposed assured red state for blue, all voting counting stops before midnight in major urban areas in key swing states under blue governors with red in the lead. Again, guys, this is just a big what if scenario, okay? I am not saying that this is really what's going on, and this is just an article that I'm reading, but it's up to you guys to make up for yourselves, with your own thoughts and opinions, what this is. So, blue operators stop counting to check whether their scenario towards a blue victory can roll out without bringing in the mail-in ballots. Their preferred mechanism is to manufacture the will of the people by keeping up an illusion of fairness. Yet, they can always rely on Plan B, urban mail-in ballots, on tap, hot and cold, until blue squeaks in by two particularly key swing states that red had bagged in a previous election. So, let's skip down a little. Blue operators bet that the compliant mainstream media big tech alliance will not question that, well, out of the blue, the vote would swing towards blue in a 2-3 or 3-4 margin. They bet no questions will be asked on how a 2 to 5% positive ballot trend in red's favor in a few states turn into a 0.5% to a 1.4% trend. Okay? The discrepancy happens in two swing states almost simultaneously, and that some precincts turn more presidential votes than they had registered voters. Okay? The day after the election, there are vague explanations that one of the possible vote dumps was just a clerical error, while in another disputed state, there's no justification for accepting ballots with no postmarks. And that was recently, I believe, on the news. Okay, Okay, just remember, Donald Trump is not the real president of America. He is just a reality TV star playing the president on TV. Okay? They're going to say, and I think during their court hearings or something, they found out that they were accepting ballots with no postmarks on it as well, and I think they're dumping those. So, blue operators relax because mainstream media big tech alliance squashes each and every complaint as a conspiracy theory. And you know how they love to lump us all together in one big lump of conspiracies and try to, downplay the seriousness of the situation, especially when anybody is questioning the mainstream narrative of what's going on. So, of course, and this right here is all what a blue win right here. This one, it says red counter revolution. This is all a scenario for the red to win. Okay. Obviously, this is actually what's going on right now. In a what if scenario that is not realistically happening. And I thought this was very interesting. Codename Corpse, in a Freudian slip, had revealed his party had set up the most extensive and diverse fraud scheme ever. Not only Corpse is about to be investigated for a shady computer-related scheme, he is at a stage 2 dementia patient with rapidly unraveling profile. Wow. So we already know who they're talking about. Buffoon, true to his instinct, goes preemptive, declaring a whole election a fraud without offering a smoking gun, obviously, and that's what the mainstream media, MSLSD, faux news, the Communist News Network, they're all saying the same thing, guys. They're all saying, he has no proof of what he's claiming as well. All right. I'm going to just start reading the real bolded parts, but if I see something really important, I'll read it out. Okay. Blue cannot foresee, though, how many fake ballots will be unveiled during the recounts, and they're going to have to toss those out. As Corpse is set to declare victory, Buffoon eyes the long game and is set to take the whole thing all the way to the Supreme Court. And this has happened before, okay? This is a three-pronged attack, with Red using the Judiciary Committee, the Senate, and the Attorney General, all under the authority of him until Inauguration Day. The end game after a vicious legal battle is to overthrow Blue. In the meantime, 2 electoral college votes, 1 month apart, are required to certify the presidential winner. These votes will happen in the middle of one of, and perhaps 2 investigations focused on corpse. At the end of the day, guys, and here we are. We're pretty much at the end of the, and again, I'm going to leave the links in the description. The House always wins. The bank wins, guys. At the end of the day, both of these guys are talking puppet heads for the deep state, okay? What we call the deep state, all right? The real president of America is this guy. Here we go. Where is he? There he is. We're going to call him Uncle Jerome. All right. Jerome Powell, okay, is the 16th chair of the Federal Reserve, okay? This is the real president of America, guys. This is the guy who calls all the shots, okay? This guy is the one who's in control of our currency, of our economy, of everything that goes on a day-to-day basis here in our country. This is the entity. He is part of the entity, the Federal Reserve, that has literally hijacked our country. So yeah, while we're all worried about the pretend reality TV stars that are up there trying to be president, this guy is the president of the United States. Now, I found a very interesting thing that just came out the other day about Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell and Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin are testifying Tuesday before the House of Financial Services Committee. Each will discuss his agency's response to the COVID pandemic and answer questions from the committee's lawmakers. Since March, the Fed and Treasury have introduced a litany of programs aimed at lending money to businesses struggling for liquidity as Americans stay at home. Their efforts include mainstream lending program aimed at companies with fewer than 1,500 employees and the Paycheck Protection Program and direct stimulus checks to U.S. workers. In prepared remarks he will deliver in person, says, "We remain committed to using our tools to do what we can for as long as it takes, to ensure that the recovery will be strong as possible and to limit lasting damage to the economy," is what Powell says, the real president of America, okay? Economic activity has picked up from its depressed second quarter level, when much of the economy was shut down to stem the spread of the COVID. Many economic indicators show marked improvement, he added. Both employment and overall economic activity, however, remain well below their pre-pandemic levels, and the path ahead continues to be highly uncertain. These guys are the ones in control of everything, guys. These guys are the ones who set the interest rates. And just to let you know, we don't get to elect these guys who run the Federal Reserve. And don't forget, the Federal Reserve is a private bank, okay? In the guise of federal part of the government, I guess. But our government has to ask the Federal Reserve to borrow it money, okay? And these guys, look at that. I hate this. I cannot stand this picture. Look at that. They're elbowing each other like, yeah, look at how much interest and debt we're going to put the American people over underneath. They have no idea. What was it? $6.2 trillion stimulus package. Hey, ho, ho, you know. They know what they're doing. They know how much money they're stealing from us by doing this. Now, I also wanted to bring this up, and this came out a few days ago too. The World Economic Forum's Great Reset plan for big food benefits the industry and not the people. Of course it does. Big food industry like Coca-Cola, like we just saw in the earlier, how Coca-Cola made a crap ton of money even after they just announced, the vaccines for everybody to have. So, The World Economic Forum's Great Reset includes a plan to transform the global food and agricultural industries and the human diet. Like, seriously, who do they think they are to sit there and change the human diet? Like, how do they have the authority to sit there and say, you know what we need to do? Switch the entire diet of all humans on the entire planet. Like, who gave them the authority to do that? The architects of the plan claim that it will reduce food scarcity, hunger and disease, and even mitigate climate change. But a closer look at the corporations and think tanks of the World Economic Forum is partnering with is to usher in this global transformation suggests that the real motive is more corporate control over food. You control the food, you control the people, guys. And the World Economic Forum, they are talking about their Great Reset. This guy Hans or Klaus Schwab, he's like the founder of the World Economic Forum. These people really do believe that they have the right and the authority to tell us what to do, what to eat, where to be. Like, what's going on here? There's a lot to like that. This is bringing a precedence of something that even we the people are not prepared to face. We don't really know what we're up against right now, especially when these guys have total control of the food system and the food chain. We're kind of screwed when that happens, because at least in some places, if you can go out to the woods or something and be able to grow your own food and stuff like that, you could take care of yourself. You would have no need for any like outer authority or some type of like, person coming around and saying, hey, I'm entitled, to your labor and your work. So these guys are planning on resetting everything, like the economy, the digital money, the currency. They want everybody they want everybody on the social credit system, like China. So there's a lot going on here. I know that I went through a few different articles here. It's a lot to take in. I'm going to leave all the links down and below so you can go through everything yourself and take in the information and try to look at it from a non-partisan point of view and understand, like, how does this truly affect you? We have lived in a society that's been so conditioned in compliance and complicity and comfort that everything is instant instant gratification, ring ring ring, you're a winner and stuff. You know what I mean? Like they don't want you, like, everything is so easy to come across, you don't have to think about it. And that's the problem. They made everything so convenient to the point where no, you don't have to think about it. And that's a big problem, because if you don't have to think about it, that means somebody else is thinking about it for you. So this is Anarchist coming to you from the dark side of the moon here on Ann After Hours. I'm going to try to keep pushing out more content. We do have an extensive radio network coming out. I will be on the Existentialist YouTube channel this Tuesday. I will be doing an interview. I'm going to be guest appearing on Tony B's show. He is a colleague of mine. We went to college together. He was in a political debate team, and he is such a very intelligent person and so open-minded and willing to be, well, his name, Tony B, has always been Tony B, the debate guy. Like, he used to be all about debating and wanting to push his point through, but I noticed that he's like grown up so much, and we have such a big age difference too. But I'm excited to be on his radio show, guest appearing. I hope I'll be able to answer and clarify any questions that people might have on voluntarism, anarchism, anarcho-Christianity, occultism, de-occultism, really, symbolism, and all types of I'm really big into astrotheology too, so hopefully I'll be able to touch on some of those topics on his show. Okay, guys, I will let you go, and I will see you guys all on the next show.